March 12, 1938, a date that plunged Austria into the abyss of the Second World War. The historical stage was set in a tumultuous era, with Austria and Germany teetering on the brink of political unrest. Both nations were struggling to regain their footing after the devastation of the First World War and the subsequent economic crisis. In Germany, Adolf Hitler was rising to power, fueled by a dangerous cocktail of nationalism and bitter resentment. His expansionist policies aimed at uniting all German-speaking people under one rule, a vision he called Großdeutschland. Austria, with its predominantly German-speaking population, was the perfect target. Hitler's plan was audacious, his tactics ruthless, but his charismatic appeal was undeniable, and it drew Austria into a dangerous embrace with its powerful neighbour. As dawn broke on March 12th, the fate of Austria was sealed, forever entwined with that of Nazi Germany. No shots were fired, no declaration of war was issued, yet an invasion was underway. The day was marked by the thunderous echo of German boots marching across the Austrian border. The Austrian army stood paralysed, not by fear, but by a sense of eerie familiarity, a brotherhood twisted by the machinations of politics. The resistance was not only absent, but also discouraged. The German propaganda machine had been working overtime, painting a picture of unity, of a shared destiny. Radios hummed with the seductive promise of a greater Germany, a dream that struck a chord with many Austrians. The silent invasion was facilitated not just by military might, but also by the power of words, the allure of a shared dream. It was a day of paradoxes, an invasion without a war, a conquest without a fight. By the end of the day, Austria was under German control, its identity swallowed whole by the Nazi war machine. The Anschluss was more than a territorial conquest. It was a psychological warfare that would change Austria forever. This was not merely an annexation, it was an insidious act of political and cultural erasure. Austria's independent identity was systematically dismantled, and its people were forced into a new oppressive reality under Nazi rule. The repercussions were immediate and severe. Jews, who had been an integral part of Austrian society, were now subjected to ruthless persecution. Their businesses were confiscated, their rights stripped away, and their lives turned into a nightmare of fear and uncertainty. Political dissent was suppressed with an iron fist. Anyone daring to challenge the Nazi regime was faced with merciless retribution. The vibrant political discourse that once characterized Austria was replaced with a chilling silence. Internationally, the Anschluss was met with a regrettable indifference. The League of Nations, the very body established to prevent such acts of aggression, proved to be impotent. Despite some condemnations, no decisive action was taken to halt the Nazi onslaught. The world watched as Austria's sovereignty was trampled upon with impunity. In the face of international apathy and internal division, Austria was left to grapple with its new reality under Nazi rule. The Anschluss was not just a historical event, it was a stark reminder of the devastating effects of unchecked power and international indifference. More than 8 decades have passed, yet the scars of the Anschluss still linger. This defining moment in the 20th century left an indelible mark not only on Austria but also on the face of Europe. The Anschluss, the forcible union of Austria into Nazi Germany, has since shaped the course of modern European history in profound ways. Post-war Austria was a nation grappling with its past, trying to reconcile the reality of its citizens' involvement in the atrocities of the Second World War. It took decades for Austria to fully acknowledge the weight of its participation, as it initially sought to portray itself as the first victim of Nazi aggression. But as time passed, the narrative began to shift. The country embarked on a journey of self-reflection, acknowledging its complicity in the war and taking steps towards restitution and reconciliation. The Anschluss has also been instrumental in shaping Europe's collective memory of the war, reinforcing the continent's commitment to peace and unity. It's a stark reminder of the destructive power of unchecked aggression and the ease with which peace can be shattered. Today, the legacy of the Anschluss is still very much alive. It continues to spark debates over Austria's role in the war, and the lessons it offers are as relevant as ever. The Anschluss, a dark chapter in history that serves as a grim reminder of the cost of unchecked aggression and the fragility of peace.